Hey everyone, so I had a great conversation with a friend of mine about the idea of designing a strength program and a hypertrophy or a muscular growth program, where we have an individual that may want to increase strength, and we have an individual that wants to increase muscular growth. And certainly, sometimes these goals get kind of mashed together, and it's not that we can't get both of them, it's not that we can't achieve both of them, but if we're trying to have a big focus, especially as we become more mature, as we go through our exercise over the years of exercising, or become more advanced or anything like that, we have to understand that if we're trying to achieve something specific, we have to invest more time into it. So if we're trying to establish muscular development, right, we're trying to get the muscle to grow, we need a program that's going to be a little bit more specific towards that. If we're trying to have a program, or if we have a goal that is, we're trying to get our bench press to 300 and we're starting at 185 pounds, then we're going to need a program that's going to be a little bit more geared towards the increase in strength. So again, while we can kind of accomplish both of these, there's going to be a fine line between how do we increase strength even more and how do we increase our muscular girth, or that growth of muscle, more. As my friend and I were talking about this, the idea of a power lifter and a bodybuilder came to my head. And while sometimes you have power lifters that may have a similar physique to a bodybuilder, most of the time their physiques are quite different. And you have a power lifter that's lifting, 800 plus pounds, and then you have a bodybuilder that it just looks really, really good. And certainly not to say that a power lifter can't be strong, but their primary focus is how to increase muscular growth, right? Not how much weight can I lift. Versus a power lifter isn't about, okay, how do I increase muscular growth? It's about, well, how do I get to squat 800 pounds? So when we're looking at this idea of size versus strength, we kind of need to understand that they are similar but different. So one example would be if we're trying to perhaps increase our bench press or our squat, and we're starting at 185 pounds, then we could start a strength training program for perhaps a month or two, go through that, and maybe get up to 250 pounds. And then after that, if we're looking to increase our strength even more, then we can probably increase our strength, go through the program even more. Or if we're trying to back off a little bit and now we want to focus on muscular growth, then you can invest maybe 2 more months on muscular development, muscular growth, and go through some type of hypertrophy training. And then you can, after that 2 months, then you can go back to another 2 months of strength training. Just as an example, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it, but just to give you guys a little bit of somewhat of an understanding that muscular size and muscular strength are 2 different things that are accomplished a little bit differently. And part of this is you have one program that's geared more towards strengthening your central nervous system so that it can overcome this heavy load. And then you have another program that is focused more on how do I stress the muscle appropriately to get a bigger size of the muscle. And then we can talk about like volume training. A lot of times that's referred to as the amount of weight that you use. So let's say it's 100 pounds and you do that 10 times. So your volume was 1,000. And then you can multiply that by however reps that or sets that you do. And this is another big component when we talk about increasing volume, and sometimes it's, you can think about it as workload. And when we increase volume, a lot of times that tends to stimulate muscular growth. But there's a bunch of different variables that we want to understand when we talk about how do I increase strength, and then how do I increase muscular growth. So if you guys are interested in diving into more of those variables, just let me know, and I can talk to you guys more about that. I hope this helps.